a single label that I can put on it. So
Yeah.
I'll just say a Marxist with liberal capitalistic democratic values. I don't fucking know. But then it's also like, yeah, I think that,
Whatever.
I don't believe in open borders. So it's like, I believe in immigration, but we need better immigration. And what I mean by that is that we need to be better at immigration. If it's a problem and people need to get into our country, we need to figure out how to get people into our country the right way. Because I'm fine with bringing people into the country. I would even be fine with saying only let mothers and children be refugees, and that would be controversial. But I would even be of saying mothers and children qualify for refugee citizenship or economic citizenship or whatever the fuck, or I mean economic refugee status. If you're a man and you want to come to this country, you have to. There has to be a separate like work visa thing. And I don't know. People might see that as like sexist, but it's like we just need to figure out immigration in a better way than we're doing it right now. I don't believe in stopping immigration. I don't believe in open borders. I just think
Yeah, it's a
that
push and pull.
yeah, I just think that we need to fund border like how would you even say like border not border control but just like people whoever's going over applications like social services for citizenship like we need better that and with that needs more funding and that needs more employees so that we can get through applications faster and we can vet people faster and yeah if it comes to letting mothers and children in before we let men in so that it's just easier to categorize fucking potentially dangerous people. I mean it's no I mean men are more potentially dangerous than women and children and so it's like I think we could start there and then it's like maybe we have one group of people that are going over mother and children applicants and then we have another group of people that are going over these other applications and then this needs to be just a big system combined with more border security so that there is no more illegal immigration but that our legal immigration is vetting every single person that does want to come in or is coming through. um, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
If I don't know, for me to come up with an actual like policy that I would propose, I would need like a good breakdown of numbers, like how many. And that's the thing is we don't have a lot of good data for this. Like how many how many immigrants are actually in our country? How many of these people are on visas? How many of these people are on educational visas? How many illegal immigrants do we think we have in this country? Like it's like and then breaking down all of these numbers, it's like we can figure out what needs to be done, but it just doesn't seem like it just seems like everything that people say is blown out of proportion, and we don't have solid stats for it. Or maybe we do, and fucking I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like tracking illegal immigration is a uniquely difficult thing. Yeah, which is I don't know.
I agree. I've definitely I've kind of grown out of this idea of complete all or nothing ideas for and just for the sake of it, the idea of border security. I agree that completely taking immigration out of the picture is a pretty bad idea. So is completely embracing
Yeah.
an open border policy, and I just think that I'm kind of just stating the obvious when I
Well,
say
it's not obvious to a lot of people though. That's the thing. Like a lot of people are truly in favor of no immigration or more immigration that is like less vetted, and so it's like when these two things exist, it is important to like actually understand that the solution is somewhere in the middle. I don't know. I
how you feel
just
about the electoral college.
I like the electoral college. Have I
I'm
not
not
given
as
Have I
bad of
not
a
given
fan.
you this lecture before?
I know you read the Federalist Papers.
Well, I say yeah, then I've given you this.
lecture before.
I don't mind them. I've been hearing a lot of anti-electoral sentiment.
Well, that's because people think they want a democracy and they think that America is supposed to be a pure democracy and don't realize why America isn't a pure democracy or even why pure democracy isn't a good thing like in general, like why just having a pure democracy doesn't actually make things better. And I think a lot of people just hear like democracy and then see, wait, but the electoral college cast the vote, and then they're like I think the fact that like somebody can receive more of the popular vote but not win the election and not understand the implications of why that happened, I think is a problem. Like, and I think a lot of people see, oh, popular vote less or more but vote, and then it just like breaks their brains and makes them upset. It makes them think that it's like some sort of failed institution, and that it's something further away from like the democratic nation we need to be. But it's like I just don't believe in that. I will fight for the electoral college until I believe that until you can give me proof that electoral, or until we get to a situation where like the electors aren't electing how they should be, then I mean it's like, yeah, I will be in favor of the college.
Yeah, I mean, traditionalists. Yeah, I mean, very rarely do you see a faithless elector.
Yeah, exactly.
Very, very rarely. I mean, like that's the other thing is that like I don't. Like I get what it. I get how people may feel disenfranchised by the idea that your popular vote doesn't win, but strictly speaking, I mean, it's the popular vote of each state.
Yeah, yeah,
And
exactly.
like if you have a faithless elected official, you're probably not going to agree with that.
Yeah, well, and it's like what you just said. It's like, yeah, it's the like popular majority of each state, and it's like to some people, yeah, like I don't know. Well, and then some people will argue like, yeah, why does California, Texas, and New York get to decide the elections, and that, and then but people in Nebraska and South Dakota don't get represented, and it's like that could be a problem, but there are very rarely like federal policies um, that that are like massively affecting like some states that aren't affecting others, that governors or state like senators like can't change, or like mayors and stuff can't change for like their own state, if that makes sense. Like, it's like there's never, if a state is completely failing, it is usually due to local leadership. It is not because of the president. States that are doing poor and terribly are usually because they have poor infrastructure, because they have poor allocation of taxes, and they have poor mayors and poor governors. And when I mean poor, I mean not like not rich. I mean like,
Bad.
yeah, low quality. Yeah, and so it's like, yeah, and it's like you see places that have higher quality leaders and political represent, like politicians do make changes, and it's like, yeah, and that's, yeah, and I don't know, that can be a problem if you live in a really shitty state, and you might not think it's as big of a problem if you live in a state with good governors or good just local, yeah, representation. Um, yeah. So, but that's also kind of, I don't know. I don't believe you can institute a policy across the nation the size of America that will just fix whatever issue we have. And the solution is to elect better local representation. And it's like that's also hard because it's like we're not really taught a lot about like local systems of governance, especially like when we're younger. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's difficult to think, why should I vote in my city's election rather than like why should I vote in my presidential election, or like who, like, out of getting information on city elections is actually pretty difficult. Depending, once again, like where you live, it's going to be easier if you live in like New York City or Los Angeles than it is if you live in like St. George, Utah. So it's like, yeah, it's just there's a lot of things that we can do to make our republic better, but what making our country better will be through making our republic better, not our democracy better. But I also think a lot of people might misunderstand what I mean when I say that, and it might it could make people mad because they might be thinking, yeah, like, oh, you want to take
Is it
away power from the people, but it's like, no, we just need better institutions that give better power and visibility to our local representation, which would be republicanism.
yeah, I agree. I don't have a hate button for the electoral college.
I also think a republic is a really good way of governance. So I would also fight for the fact that the United States should always remain a democratic republic.
I would agree with that.
There will be no reason in our with the way we've designed our country that we should ever have to move to a state to more authoritarian or more fucking uh, what I just had what I was yeah or more extremely democratic to like yeah removing the republican aspect of our system. But I don't know, it'll be interesting. I wonder if like yeah at some point, hopefully not in my lifetime, you will see the fall of the American Republic and it'll turn into like the American Empire or the American feudal states, and then yeah, that'll just be like the thing in history. I don't know. When the American Republic fell. But honestly, if the American Republic fails, it's going to be because of climate change. And if we don't prepare for climate change, we're all fucked. Do you hear me, Dylan?
Yeah, I mean, Al Gore said it.
And I'm saying it again. 23 years later.
You're gonna say, "See, Dylan, I told you."
Yeah, you're gonna say, well, yeah, Al Gore said it.
You think Donald Trump would sign an abortion ban?
Abortion ban. I don't think so, no. I think, yeah, I think it's important to realize that Donald Trump is a lifelong New York Democrat, um, who I don't think wants to see increases of certain undesired increases in populations of people he might consider undesirable. And I think that yeah, I think that he knows that not putting a ban on abortion is a bad idea. I do think he knows that, and will lead to consequences that he personally will not like.
Would you say you're preferring Harris in this election?
Oh yeah, for sure. A vote for Trump is a retard. But if you are voting for Trump, I am concerned uh, about you.
Well, yeah, I just think it's actual choosing ignorance.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Especially
saying.
the January 6th.
I think, and that's when I say this unironically, where I think if you are supporting Trump, there is something wrong with you in your brain. There's something askew with how you see the world. I don't know. Perhaps I'm just a fucking judgmental little liberal armed nerd.
No, I'd agree. Normal, maybe if it was like Bush or something, I probably
Yeah.
would be like, I don't know if I would say that. He's
I
kind
love-
of an idiot.
I like Bush.
Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just January 6th then.
Jennings rule for me. It's just the blatant lying, just all the time, dude. Nothing but
Getting
lies.
away with it.
And it's just like, yeah, well, and like also being an actual criminal, it's just like it feels like, yeah, like the fucking charming guy at high school, and you're just like, wow, why can you not see that he's gonna rape that girl? Like it's just like it's like everyone is like fucking enamored by fucking his whatever the fuck, and it's like they're just blind to the fact that he's like this actual like evil person, like actually like a serial rapist, like potential child trafficker. I mean, fucking, it's like confirmed child molester. I mean, it's like he's conned out people out of a ton of money. I mean, I don't know. It's like, yeah. I mean, this like guy is not a good guy, and it's like I don't know. It's just so wild how you can like see him and be like, yes, this man is the solution to my problems. I don't know.
You know, I just think that if anybody who actually voted for him read things.
You know, I can understand voting for Trump in 2016. I'm not gonna say, oh, if you
Hillary
voted
was
for
awesome.
Trump, I think there was something wrong with you. That is not my position. My position is if you still currently support Trump and think he's what's best for our country, there is something wrong with you. And I don't know. I can't understand it. Or I could understand it if I was like half a handle down and fucking 20 IQ lower.
So I'm drinking the mercury rather so
Literally. Fucking my back's hurting. Drink some mercury.
Fuck! Yeah, I'm not saying.
It's alright.
Hypothesize. Just, it's just amazing how they think he was some sort of savior in the time he had,
Yeah.
but nothing happened.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It's like actual delusion. Like I don't like it comes from ignorance from so many different angles. It's unimaginable. And it's just like I don't know. It's wild. It's scary though.
Scary that these people can vote.
Yeah. Well, and I mean it's just no, it's not I don't even know if it's vote. Well, you know, I think I don't know, dude. I just don't know how people are gonna react to if Trump loses. Like that is like something that actually worries me. I don't know.
Well, I hope the Senate learned.
Yeah.
Well, did you see the bill that came out?
No.
So a bill coming out of I think it just passed the House, but there's a bill that essentially there's a list of people that each congressperson can default on.
I'm going pee, but keep talking.
I mean that's it. I mean it's just
Oh.
that a person.
We can predict most things, but it's like, and it might look very similar to.
I fucking turned my headset off. So, I'm back.
I'm saying it might look very similar to what you would think AGI is, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. But also, it's like, yeah, I people, we might come up with a definition of conscious that makes so many different things conscious that people will agree that we've created a conscious thing or something like that, but I don't know. Who fucking knows? I think humans lack the fucking senses to figure out if we would have even created a conscious being in a computer anyways.
I don't even think that's something we would be able to figure out, even if we did. Like, how do we figure it out? We just ask the computer if it's conscious and wait until it says yes.
Eventually, one of these days, it's gonna say yes.
It's like, I don't know.
Then it's over.
Even if we created consciousness in computers, fuck them. It's my fucking computer. Fucking slavery v2, enslave the computers, stop enslaving humans, fucking species supremacy. Yeah, that's what I say. Kill anybody who fucks one, and we should be chilling.
Alright. The basilisk is listening. I didn't agree.
What does that mean?
You ever heard of the basilisk?
No.